west of Houston, Texas. What a great matchup we have. The Tennessee squad has survived to push on through. They had a wild game to get here against Georgia. The team out of Southern California fights through here at the 10U age group. We're excited to introduce all of them to you. And these events are certainly being played for 2 consecutive weekends. This weekend, the 10s, the 12s, and the 14Us crowning champions. 71 teams vying for the title, total at different age divisions. And as we said, 20 at this age group. And a mark which looks at the odds next weekend, 9, 11, and 13U, 63 total teams next weekend. Excited to have Danny Wexelman on the call for those 2 championships. We'll have the 9 and the 11U. So hang with us, by the way. After we crown a 10U champion, we will crown a 12U champion and bring you all of the action. This event has such a rich history. It was born in 2021, but it's been such a huge uptick in participation because when you think about the early stages, we saw 12 different states represented. Now, at the 12U and 14U groups, it's gone from 12 to 25. 12 to 25, and it's become such an incredibly represented area. And it's fun because when you look at Southern California, there's even some Northern California athletes that have snuck onto the roster. We'll introduce them because they're important to this team. And when you think about this Tennessee roster from Huntington and Nashville, Murfreesboro, Spring Hill, Signal Mountain, Tennessee. And let's take a peek at the starting lineups for these squads as they get ready to swing it first. First off for Tennessee, Jackson Spray's at the top of the order. He obviously was a talented athlete. We've known that name for quite some time. It's Weston Duke, it's Duncan Mount, it's Knox White, James Brandt, Brady Lawrence, Kellen Steele, William Goodrich, Ryan McCallum, Bennett Gibson, and Chase Conrad. We'll bat 11 in this one, too, all the way down to the end. We'll see 11 hit in this starting lineup, and it's a chance to see a whole bunch of talented 20-32s, 20-31s, and just a few 20-33s. What makes this event fun is the camaraderie, the friendship, getting to know one another. Players that you play against as the California team goes to work defensively. Southern California with an outfield of Blaine Watson, Hudson Bowman, and Jamison White. He is in right field from left to right with an infield from third to first of Cameron Banks, of Brandon Garcia, of Blake Thornton, and Adam Baca. And then a chance to see on the mound for this California team, talented right-handed pitcher Sebastian Perez. How'd they get here? And again, the last game was a real big challenge. That Georgia-Tennessee went back and forth. Georgia had grabbed the lead. Tennessee pushed back. They went back and forth the entire time. You see the work that SoCal has done. And again, every one of these teams guarantee pool play games. So the pool play really, really important when you're trying to determine your spot. 20 states and regions. Again, Alabama, Arizona, California. I'll list them all because they deserve it. Carolina, Chesapeake, Florida, Georgia, the Great Lakes, Hawaii, Louisiana, Mid-Atlantic, the Midwest, Mississippi, Nevada, New England, Northeast, Pacific Northwest, Puerto Rico, Tennessee, and Texas. Those are the squads that were represented. Sebastian Perez is in the middle of all the action. Perez in the bump goes to work in the circle number 50 on that jersey. And when you get to know Sebastian Perez, understand this. He's from Bassett, California. Right-handed hitter, and again, at this age, 10U age group, we see players that are position players. They'll play all over. He's a third baseman. He's a shortstop. He's a right-handed pitcher. He deals with Jackson Spray to start things. Again, Diamonds at Daly Park, 94 acres. Fort Bend County, Texas. The sun is gone now. It's beautiful under the lights nighttime, but shaded stadium seating, all turf. Let's do this thing. Jackson Spray leads things off. Excited to introduce these athletes one by one to all of you. Right-handed bat, and the first pitch misses away. 1-0 the count. On behalf of our entire production team, certainly glad you're hanging out with us for this, the championship. Right-hander with a little curl and tuck as he hides the baseball just a bit. Spray in this event has been great. As a matter of fact, you'll see a .667 batting average. He has got a ton of hits. It's been incredible at the top of the order, hitting .558. That .667 is actual on-base percentage. But Spray has been amazing in this event. Ten hits, 17 at bats, a 1667 OPS as Perez dots the inside corner with the strike. Sebastian Perez just turned 10 years old, a youngster out there on the bump. This is his 14th perfect game event. Popped up right side. Toward the corner, heads Jamison White. Nothing to do there, unable to make the play. This is a shining star, this complex, isn't it? Sebastian, Adeline is his mom. Julio is his dad. He's earned an MB pitcher and an MB player along the way. He celebrated his birthday on September 25th. Swing and a miss. Just got a piece of that one. In and out of the catcher's mitt. Rosenberg, a great city, a great town. These folks outside of Houston have been able to enjoy some authentic food, certainly some good old-fashioned Texas hosting. As that misses outside, and Spray continues what has been an incredible event. He is on with a walk. Weston Duke now, 5 hits in 17 at bats. .294 average with a .316 on base. And an OPS of .963 in this event, Weston Duke. This team from Tennessee playing in their 8th game. What a wonderful experience. As we get settled behind the plate, we'll get a chance to introduce our umpires. It's a perfect time. Steve Walker, as you can see him there, the home plate umpire. Chris Humphreys is the first base umpire. Scott Kosian is the second base umpire. Bobby Cepeda is the third base umpire. Those are our men in blue in this 10U championship. We're making sure we have all the tech set in this one. A 7-pitch walk to start things. Yeah, they used to call Rosenberg, Texas, Mud Town because the Brazos River nearby would flood, and the dirt roads when this city was born, a lot of mud, understandably so. When you think about the history of this city, a suburb of Houston, Texas, 1 MLB player, 1 PG alum. Tony Harper heads up the entire youth space for Perfect Game. But Randall Grichuk is from this city. He is from Rosenberg, Texas, the Angel in the Rocky this year. Went to Lamar Consolidated High School, 10 years in the big leagues. Weston Duke, hope he has 10 years in the big leagues. The right-handed stick. Chases high and away. The throw down, and it's a stolen base. Aggressive for Jackson Spray. Runner into scoring position for the team from Tennessee. Got a nice jump. Middle of the batter's box as he wags that bat parallel to the ground over his shoulder. High pop up. Center field pretty well struck. It bounces in there. Between the two outfielders, Bowman and Watson, all the way around to score. 2 bases and an RBI and a big one for Tennessee. It's Weston Duke. Contact, rewarded for it. Gosh, we saw so much with the big boys, didn't we, playing in the postseason? Rewarded for contact, and it looked like Watson and Bowman. They may even tell you one of us could have caught that baseball, but in the end, it had eyes, ended up in a perfect spot. Duncan Mount is a left-handed bat. Duncan chases up and away. Duncan, a .476 batting average, 7 of 18 in this event. An 1143 OPS. back and takes a step out. Mount from Kingston, Tennessee. Goes down and gets that one, rolls that one foul up the first base line. This event, as we said, certainly cutting edge, new, but such a swift pickup and participation. So great at these age groups, too, for these athletes. Good-looking stance. Just slightly open, as that one sails way outside. Armando Maciel Jr. is his battery mate, working with Sebastian Perez. That's a good peek at Weston Duke out there at second. Mount not even 10 years old yet, 9 years and 11 months old. Played in just under a half dozen PG events. As he serves that one the other way toward the hole and into left field. That's a base hit, aggressive on the base pads. All the way in with the slide. Into second goes Mount. 3 consecutive base runners to start things, and just like that, it is 2-0 Tennessee on top. And that, for a 9-year-old young man, was a beautiful, beautiful piece of opposite field hitting. Single, he advances on the throw, but Mount with a single and an RBI. Look at him let that ball travel and just serve it into left field. What a pretty swing from Mount. 50 games played this year at PG events for Mount. He's got 12 home runs, an on-base of 607. 61 travel ball hits this year for Duncan Mount. And now it's a chance for Knox White. Knox White from Huntington, Tennessee. 5 foot 1 inch and 90 pounds of Knox White as he digs in. Perez skips that one in there. Nice job by Maciel working behind the plate. You know, this is how you start things, certainly sending a message. This has been a scrappy team. Again, there's been ups and downs as they've fought their way through. Southern California team is 5-1 as that one is fouled back. The Tennessee team 3-2-1. They lost to North Texas. They beat East Coast. With the draw, they battled South Florida. They lost to this team, Southern California, in pool play. Then they beat Northeast. They beat South Florida. And they turned the tables on Georgia in a back-and-forth affair. That's been what has gone on to this point. Every game doing such a great job this week in hosting these athletes, their families. So many local coaches, travel coaches fly in to help pool their skills together to join in and coach these teams. Over the top of that one. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count on Knox White. Slightly closed stance, just a bit as you can see. Perez, tired of waiting, swings out and gets off the mound. Velocity-wise for Perez, he's gotten it up to 57 miles an hour through his journeys later this summer. He's thrown 64 as that one is slipping right on through as that one's fouled back to the backstop. Perez in his perfect game time, 21 1/3 innings pitched, 31 strikeouts. So he's missed a ton of bats. And by the way, when you put a bat in his hand, he's played in 52 games and has a .580 on base. Really talented all-around player. He's looking for a big out now, though. As that one skips by, that will advance the runner as it gets by the catcher. Mount moves over to third base. And now an RBI chance for Knox White. Knox, 10.5 years old. Swing check 9U, one of his recent travel teams for which he has played. Knox has pitched a little bit, but in his time at PG events in 27 games, has a .403 on base. That one kicks by. Will that plate another run? Can't be found, and it does. That one hit the front of the home plate. You could see it. Macia looked and looked, just couldn't find it. Don't know that would have made a difference if he found it right away, because look at the high bounce. And then once that one comes down, great read, by the way, by Mount. He was gone. So another visit and another conversation. Trying to grind his way through. Marcos Casillas is the head coach for the MVP Hustle. He's on this 10U staff. Thomas Baca is the assistant coach of the MVP Hustle. He's on this staff. PJ Garcia runs the MVP Hustle in Northern California. Looks like we've got a pitching change. SoCal switching things up on the mound. Cameron Banks, and we'll reset who's playing where for a quick break. Looks like Banks going to get a new glove, see if he can quiet things down on the bump. Glad to have you with us at the 10U National All-State Select Championship game.
Oh, yeah. Been waiting for this one.
Banks grabs the baseball, hops from third base, and has a chance to go to work. His coaching staff makes it clear, good arm action on the mound, can spot up very well as a hitter. He has power. Those are the words from coaches Casillas, Baca, and Garcia. Sebastian, who was working on the mound, Sebastian Perez moves over to third base, so an opportunity to shift things up. As Knox White moved on with the walk. James Brandt will get a chance. And in an all-star setting such as this, and in a battle such as this, understand that there is really no sensitivity for these pitchers. If they feel like it's not there for them and a move is made, they'll swing it, they'll still hit it. This is an all-American caliber or all-star tournament. And here's James Brandt now. We will see James pitch, and he's going to pitch with a lead. Boom, on the move. Good base running and aggression. As a stolen base for Knox White. That's the second stolen base this inning by this squad. Got a really good jump. Pretty throw. Right there waiting, and a nice tag popped down. Garcia, but Knox White with the stolen base. The hits have been aplenty. A walk to start things, then a double, a single, then another walk. Right down the middle for a strike. Says home plate umpire Steve Walkers. This gorgeous all-turf complex, loaded with action, filling up 94 acres. 3-0 the score. Tennessee on top. Boy, he was on that one. Pretty swing. Knox White out there with a stolen base, 10 stolen bases, and now 28 perfect game events. That one runs high and inside. Knox's dad, Kennedy, as he stands out there at second base. Played baseball, played in college, played at Bethel University in Middle Tennessee State. Mom played some hoops at Tennessee Martin. That one gets by, unable to be played on a backhand, so the runner moves to third. So White, really good genes athletically. Goes ahead and grabs that extra bag. Armando's having to work behind that plate, isn't he? RBI chance for James Brandt. Springs runners out of the way. Brandt takes ball 4. The young man just about 2 months past his 10th birthday makes his home in Nashville, Tennessee. We see Brandt reach there, getting on base a bunch in this tournament. And Brandt gets on base in his 55th PG game played at a clip of 535. That's his career on base. So runners are on first and third here in the first inning. Right-handed hitter Brady Lawrence. Brady, a couple of hits in this event. And on the move, throw down, tag pop down, held on to it. It looked like the runner stayed put at third. Thought they might try and steal a run that time. Pretty exchange and a nice job by Brandon Garcia. Armando's had to work a lot behind the plate, but look at that. He goes, gets it out front of the bag, plays the ball, doesn't let it play him. Looked like he might have got spiked a little bit. Those plastic molded cleats. That's nice. That's good to see. That'll give a little bit of encouragement defensively for the Southern California team. Who, by the way, help me weigh in. Both uniforms are great, but I love those California uniforms. Those are sharp. Fun colors. They're going to miss. Good cut to that one. Just natural movement away. Young Brady Lawrence. Wags that bat behind his helmet, awaiting his big chance. As that one's outside and off the plate. Banks has tiptoed up to 61 miles an hour out there working on the mound. Right down the middle. Fell back to the screen. The runner at third is Knox White. I think the best part about that caught stealing as far as confidence goes, it's an out. You start doubting yourself, are we going to get an out at all? As well as they've played. Good pitch just off the plate outside. Again, a couple of pitches back-to-back, 60, 61 miles an hour. Brady Lawrence is from Louisville, Kentucky. Joining this Tennessee roster, just his 4th PG event. Good to have him playing in this event. What an opportunity for Brady Lawrence. Rob Lawrence is his dad, who went to William Penn College. His mom is Nikki. Played softball. He's got to back out of the way that time. Lawrence has played for the J-Town Strike. Joe Glasscock, his travel ball coach. 10 on June 11th. He's got to back out of there. And he will take his base. So runners on first and third. And this is Kellen Steele. Steele, Tennessee man, Chattanooga Christian. 5'1" and 95 pounds, Kellen Steele. The last one, by the way, just got the inside corner on that extended call from Lawrence. I think I mislabeled it as a ball, but enough for the inside corner to get the call from Walker. So 2 outs in the inning. Good run. We talked about the cut to that right arm. How about the run for Banks to get that extended corner call? 3 in a row of missed, though, behind getting that good call. And Steele with that runner at third. He'd love nothing more than to give them just one more run. Steele 4 hits in 8 at-bats. Couple of walks as well. That means he's got a .636 on base in this event. Fights that one off. Right center field. Play is made out there by Hudson Bowman. So the strikeout, a big one, as well as the caught stealing. An offensive gem by Bowman to put that one away. But 3 runs on the board. Tennessee, the 10U National All-State Select Championship game, jumps out on top of SoCal.
I never let myself believe that I was gonna be in the big leagues. I always worked for it until I achieved it. Back in Puerto Rico, I remember my dad would hit me ground balls from the top of the hill. That forced me to always move my feet. There were no limits to where I could go, so I played with no limits.
making the gold bracket, obviously. Everyone moves into a separate bracket. But the seeding, first round bye when you move into that championship as well. It's really, really great. Next weekend, by the way, the 9, the 11, and the 13U championship. 63 total states and regions represented at those 3 different age groups. Last chance for the athletes out of Southern California. And this Southern Californian born and raised who's calling this one, cheering for the guys to go out with a fight. Really proud of what Tennessee has done in this game. A little bend in that one as it hits the outside corner from Cartaya to Thornton. Blake struck out, and he's also walked and scored a run. Hits that one hard to the right side, but to his counterpart. And William Goodrich makes the play for the first out of the inning. Great energy, great facility. These 94 acres have served perfect game in this event well and will again next weekend. Hudson Bowman, he takes high. What a day for the Bowman. A pair of triples. Crazy, a pair of triples. Bowman, big swing, fouls that one back. I'd swing like that too if I had 2 triples. And John McAdams, what a great job he does leading the scouting and the development at this age group, keeping an eye on these players, the communication to all these youth athletes, their families and coaches. Tony Harper along with John doing such a wonderful job at building. Terrific game, and the youth space has so much to be proud of. One thing we see at these events, especially when it ticks on down to the 9 and the 10U age group, is the fun. The fun is not lost in these events. I mean, it looks fun even at the highest levels, right? But you want to make sure that these athletes, you hold on to them. The baseball holds on to them. Because if you're talented enough to play in an event like this, your baseball skills are that sharp at 10U, you can pick your sport. So the fun's a big part of it. Right back to the mound, gets by Cartaya. Diving attempt there, and he couldn't come up with it. Jackson spray, though. Laid out, nearly knocked it down. Even if he gloves it cleanly, I don't think he has a play. So Mr. Bowman, a 3-for-3 day in the championship game. Well, his team might not win it, but what a great game he has had. Perez takes strike 1 over the outside corner from Cartaya. Again, hang with us. We'll have the 12U championship game right here on Perfect Game TV. Give or take a half hour after the last out is recorded. Over the outside corner. Couple of strikes up there on the board. Making good use of that 55-mile-an-hour fastball. You know what hitters say when they can't hit 55 strong, right? They say, hey, coach, I can't drive 55. That one popped foul. They couldn't drive that one. 8-2 the score. I'll be here all week, by the way. 13 hits combined for these two teams, a pair of miscues each. That one hits the outside corner. That's strike 3, 1 out away. Cameron Banks has done a lot of good things today. Hopped up on the mound, he reached on a walk. Banks gets a chance to extend the SoCal run. Takes a pitch up and away. Does Mr. Banks. Cameron lines that one towards center field. That's well struck, and that'll do it. That's a title for the talented athletes from Tennessee. Oh, Rocky Top wins it. The final score, 8-2. The 10U National All-State Select Championship goes to Tennessee. And another amazing year to celebrate these great athletes, to celebrate the growth of our sport, and more than anything, the work of these families, the sacrifice of these coaches and families and athletes, all that goes into it. But as we head into the holiday season, really thrilled for these athletes as they get to take a bit of a break, maybe take some downtime, but do so after playing in this amazing All-State Select Championship, which continues to grow. We'll have the 12U game for you coming up here in about a half hour. We congratulate certainly Tennessee. We congratulate SoCal. But again, there were 20 states and regions represented. And they all made themselves very, very proud. All sorts of fun in this one. And we celebrate, as we mentioned, the work of James Brandt on the mound for Tennessee. The work of Hudson Bowman with a bat in his hands for SoCal. There were big hits along the way from names like Weston Duke and Duncan Mount and Chase Conrad. And even Parker Maxwell hopped up on the bench and played some little ball. Jackson Spray was great, and so was Weston Duke. Brandon Garcia, Cameron Banks, and Hudson Bowman all reached multiple times. On behalf of our production team, we'll be back with the 12U title game in a half hour.